All right, we're live, local, and loving on Jeff Gannon State Farm this Tuesday morning. I'm joined by our highly esteemed city manager, Kenny Martin. I am your PIO, Justin Beasley. Kenny, first off, man, how's your week going so far? Anything new in life?
It's going great. Had a great city commission meeting last night. I want to thank the city commissioners and citizens for granting me a new contract at City Hall. I appreciate it and look forward to serving many more years with the citizens.
Absolutely. You're a humble man. You've been here for 12 years as the city manager, former police chief, also do economic development. And we know your time is precious, so we invite you here on these city manager updates as often as we can when you've got little pockets in your schedule. But tell us a little bit about Monday night and just how much it means to you to not only be rewarded for your hard work, but so many others around you, as I know you'll deflect and say it takes an army, and it really takes a village to have Mount Juliet as, I'll say it, the destination spot in Tennessee.
It does. When you've served a big part of your life, I mean, it's going on 34 years now in this city, and you've watched it grow, you know, and then there's a lot of folks that like the growth and a lot of folks that don't like the growth, and I respect that immensely. I live here as well, and grandkids and things of that nature. I totally respect that. So it's trying to make the most of it. So we try to create a sanctuary where people can come back and they feel safe. People that patronize here feel safe coming here, keep taxes low, and just create a sanctuary to where people can come back home, love their community, and feel like it's being well taken care of. Because I feel like we need to be good stewards. So to have that support from the commission and the citizens about it just means the world to me. And it just enables you to get not re-energized necessarily, but it does charge your batteries in a big way, just knowing you've got that support.
Absolutely. And you've done literally everything here in the city. You know, a lot of people mentioned last night your walks down North Mount Juliet Road, picking up trash. I mean, it's servant leadership that really separates you from everyone else. Did you ever think that you would be not only city manager, but a city manager of a city this size and stature? And as I say, city manager, your hero, your father-in-law, your wife's dad, who you said is your hero, he was a city manager as well. What did he teach you about this job?
Well, for one thing, I can't even compare to him. He was a World War II vet, active duty, school superintendent, city manager. And so fortunately, before he passed, I got the opportunity to become city manager while he was still alive. And I really enjoyed that. And he gave me a lot of good tips, and far better man than I'll ever be. But you know, I wanted to make him proud, and I know he's in heaven, and I think about him all the time, and mom, and, you know, I lost my mom last year. And so it just means a lot to him. I never thought as a little boy that I'd get to do something like this. And so I'm very humbled and honored about it. And I can't thank our staff and team enough in the elected body, because they provide us with the tools to make Mount Juliet. We have a motto: better today than it was yesterday, and better tomorrow than it is today. And we're going to do that. And, you know, through trying times and all, with a lot of things that go on around our city that's outside of our control, we're going to control what we can here, and that's protecting the citizens' investment here. And Jeff Gannon's a perfect example of that, because, you know, I remember when he first came here, he was one of the first tenants to actually come into Providence Marketplace. And back then, I remember it was like $30 a square foot. And it was like 16 on Mount Juliet Road. And I remember thinking when he did that, I said, man, how to work with an insurance guy make it happen? And because he hustled, he worked hard, and he got out here, and he's, like I said, he was one of the longest serving tenants of Providence, one of the first to move in. And now you're sitting here in this beautiful building. You got the new, West Wilson Middle School going in across the street. You got a beautiful view here. It just shows you hard work, perseverance, and good customer service pays off. And I got to be honest about something. I love picking up trash, right? But there's a little bit of a hidden agenda there too. I have been known to find a couple of singles here and there when I'm picking up the trash. So every once in a while I find a buck or two in doing it.
Yeah.
But we've got the City Beautiful team now, right?
I already found a lot the other day, right?
Yeah. So they're beating me to the punch. So the thing is, now it's all trash, because by the time I get out there and I'm doing my walks or whatever, but we just say, like you said, it takes an army. So if everybody's doing it, it makes a difference. But sitting here in Jeff Gannon's building, thinking about how hard he's worked, and where we're sitting, and the construction going across the street, you think about the tornado that hit, and now we've got this beautiful building, and you hate what was removed before. This shows you sort of the Phoenix rising kind of concept here of what's been replaced, and it's absolutely beautiful. And I couldn't be any happier for him and the other tenants in the building. They built a beautiful facility here, and it's yet again something that's made Mount Juliet better today than it was yesterday.
Right. Do we have to leave anytime soon?
No.
He opened the doors.
He said something about he's got 3,000 square feet.
Up.
He did. of available space for lease. So if you want to be a part of a building that you walk into and you're like, man, this is phenomenal. I mean, whoever built it did a heck of a job. And I can just tell by looking at it, it is beautiful. The views here are beautiful. His build out in here, if you get a chance to come by, maybe you can come by and check out what Jeff's done here. It's absolutely fantastic. And, but he's got 3,000 square feet. So if you're out there and you want some Class A office space right in the heart of Mount Jewett with beautiful views, give Jeff a call. He's got some space for you.
Well, we keep bragging on Jeff, so let's invite him in here, and we'll get to your businesses before we get done.
Let's get Jeff in here.
Just because, I mean, Jeff's ears are ringing at this point. And Jeff, I'm gonna give you my mic because I speak loud enough, and Kenny Martin is a great speaker as well, so they'll hear me. But first off, man, I know it's hard to get in here because you're busy at work giving quotes out, and you also have this new building, and so much to be proud of. We met the whole staff, very hospitable of you. First off, before we get into too much about you, tell us the fantastic offer you have today for Wilson Rides.
All right, Justin. Teaming up with Gannon Wilson
Yes, sir.
and Wilson Rides, we're going to offer $10 per share of this video to Wilson Rides. If you don't know what Wilson Rides is, it's basically and I'll just read it to you. Their mission, Wilson Ride helps to preserve the quality of life and foster a connected community for older adults in Wilson County by providing safe transportation to local destinations. So we're going to offer $10 per share of this video. We're also going to offer, through the month of August, $20 for everybody who comes by, calls, and requests a quote and mentions this video. So we'll offer $20 per, anybody who just brings it up. Say, hey, man, I heard your video. I'd love that donation to go to Wilson Rides. And so it's a great cause. And it's obviously, it connects to what we do. We insure a ton of cars, and getting people around that's taking care of us through the years is important for us to take care of. So that's what we're going to offer. And hopefully we can get a lot of shares of this video today.
We appreciate your business. And that number's on your screen, 615-773-9000.
That's it.
That's
it.
Number.
That's
Okay.
correct.
I did half the job there. So
yeah.
Kenny, what impresses you most about Jeff's business? And
Well,
cover him with questions. We really want to get to know him.
Yeah, if you hadn't had a chance to meet Jeff, I've known him for a long time, like I said, ever since he came here. And he's timeless, he's ageless, he's got a huge amount of enthusiasm, and he actually cares about people. And as a matter of fact, I even know some of his family. I come to find that out just through relationships. And I got to meet his mom, I think it was, come to find out that my wife, who was adopted, I actually got to meet her birth mother and the family. And then at the Christmas party, Jeff's mom came over, which was a relative of this. And it just shows you, I can tell exactly why Jeff turned out the way that he did by getting to meet his mom. And to me, servant leadership like that matters a lot, especially when you think about insurance, because it's taking care of people in their time of need. And tornadoes that we've had in storms is a perfect example. And you can just see that it exudes in everything that Jeff does, not only as a human being, but as a business leader in our community. He's in different civic organizations, and you just tell he cares, just like looking out for Gannon Wilson and Gannon and Wilson Rides program. When you see what they actually do, and for him to give a shout out to them and say, hey, we're going to give $10, it just speaks volumes. And to me, that does my heart good, knowing that's somebody that's in our community looking out for citizens that we serve. So just couldn't be happier for him. Like I said, his old fire truck, and when he started out and his marketing from that, and then to be in Providence, and he's really at that particular point in his life was taking a big chance. That was a lot for a young man to be renting a space like that in such a nice establishment, and to see him where he's come today. I'm not only proud for him as a friend, but I'm proud for him for his family, because I know how proud they are of him that he succeeded. And you have to see this to understand that's why he's successful. He takes good care of people.
Kind words, Kenny. I started in Providence Marketplace, April Fool's Day, right? 2007. The mall opened in 06, right? I was the first tenant right beside Kroger. And that was a good home for us for 15 years. Kenny won't tell you this, but I was in his ear for probably 10 of those 15 years saying, hey, find me a place I can own. Find me a place we can, have some ownership in. So, it's crazy that a tornado had to come around to make this place an opportunity. So very fortunate, Dr. Nevico, who had his house here as building, and Dr. Davis had the eye doctor's office here. But a tornado had to come through for me to find the right home. So, but blessed to be here and glad to have you guys today. So, but I was my first customer, April 1, 2007. So not only did we take the leap of faith, but I told myself if I'm going to give this a whirl, I'm going to make sure I go down swinging. So anyway, we've been very blessed. Today we have I have 10 team members today, plus an intern, and about to start an 11th person. We actually started a new office in Lebanon as well this past year. So November 1, which is actually my birthday, we opened our Lebanon location across from Sonic on West Main Street, the old John Greer State Farm Agency. We were able to take over about half of his business there. So anyway, it's been a great run, and I'm glad to have you guys out showing off our new space today. So
tell us why you got into the insurance agency. I mean, I know that it took a tornado for this to come to fruition for you, but it kind of speaks to what you do. You help out people in need and some of their most crucial and dire times. And
sure,
if they can call not just a hotline, but a familiar face and one that is active in Rotary and Chamber and all that,
yeah,
they know Jeff Gannon. He's a phone call away.
So I went to school in Knoxville, graduated from UT, business degree. My son starts there in the fall, by the way, go Vols.
But nice portrait out there.
Yes,
Alabama game
I think that was when we beat Alabama this year. Yeah, that was. Did you see that?
I did. I like it.
Everybody see that? Come by and see that picture of us beating Alabama.
It's worth it.
It was a really good experience too. I was there. So anyhow, my first job out of college, I actually was the assistant director of the Wilson County Water Authority, which handles the east side of Wilson County's water utility. I was hired to learn the job and eventually maybe take over for the director. So did that for about a year and a half. Decided long term that really wasn't the route for me. Wasn't what I really wanted to do. My mom had worked for State Farm for 40 years. And so my mom had actually worked for a State Farm agent, Don McCoy, back in the 80s in Lebanon. And so I had some experience around the company. At the time, I was 24 years old. I knew I was young to start my own agency. I had no experience. So what I did, I called my mom up and I said, Mom, I think I'd like to be a State Farm agent, but I believe I need experience. So I went to Murfreesboro. And in Murfreesboro, there's a big operations center. It used to be there, about 2,000 employees. I started my State Farm career in State Farm in auto claims. So I started as an auto claim rep. I then trained agents, team members throughout the country, mostly Tennessee, Kentucky, and Ohio. And I would visit agents' office every week. I would travel, I'd leave my house Monday morning, get back home Thursday night, training agents and team members on several of the products we offer. So I was able to obtain a lot of information from a lot of State Farm agencies and team members and bring to Mount Juliet. I got the call that said, hey, Jeff, we got an opportunity for you. We would like for you to take a look at. And I said, okay, where's it at? And they said, it's in Mount Juliet. I said, praise the Lord. Yes. I said, who's retiring? And they said, well, nobody. And this is about the time Providence Marketplace was really taking off. The neighborhood probably was about half built out at the time. And so they say, we need a new agent in Mount Juliet. At the time, there was 2 agents, and I became the 3rd. But anyway, started from scratch. Had to sell my house, prayed about it. My wife went to work nights. We had our second child about, 6 months in to agency. I had to get home in time for my wife to go to work. And so I had a 3-year-old and then my daughter. And so people see, you don't see the story, but man, it's been well worth it. Been very blessed. So, and I really appreciate all our customers and people that believe in us, to trust us, to ensure some of the most valuable things they own. And so it's been a really good run so far. 16 years in, it's been great.
Well, like I said, I couldn't be prouder of him, and getting the opportunity to meet his mom. He looks a lot like his mom, by the way, and she's just as kind and sweet as can be. So I can see exactly had a great upbringing. But it's been an honor to sit and watch Jeff succeed and do so well, and take that leap of faith and see where he's at now. And how hard his wife had to work, and and sacrificing the kids because mom's working at night. This is a true success story that doesn't necessarily always get highlighted, I guess you'd say, in businesses. That when unlike we work for the city. So we didn't have to take that leap of faith to go get a loan and rent space and say, hey,
I couldn't imagine.
Yeah. So I can definitely understand what that takes. And that's why businesses come into the community, and investing means so much to Mount Juliet. And that's why we're here today, to basically honor Jeff and the other tenants of this building, because we understand what goes into it. We see that through the permitting process. We see it through all the other things that have to be done to get to this point. And it's an absolutely beautiful facility. And it is another enhancement that, even though it's unfortunate, a tornado took the building that was here away before, and unfortunately 3 precious lives, that we've risen from the ashes, I guess you say, so like the Phoenix rise, and we get something like this in exchange. And just been great to his customers. And I know he's got a huge following there. And, and fortunately he's young enough, he's going to be around for a long time, serving a lot of people for a long time. And at some point, hopefully his son graduates from college and he comes to work with his pop, and and then at some point takes over for him one day. That's a true success.
He is. He starts Knoxville at an epic time, coming off a victory of Alabama.
He can't wait to
Florida.
Exactly.
Are you counting down the days? The mayor's doing the same thing with his daughter. She's going off to college. And he's admitted on the record, man, he's a mess. How are you doing?
Probably be worse with my daughter, my son. I just take my time. I was in Knoxville in the late 90s. So Peyton Manning years, national championship years, 3 Lady Vols national championships. I feel like we are coming up on that type of run, where basketball's right, football's getting right, baseball's right, and just a great time to be there. So if you know me, if you come in this office, you're going to see orange chairs. You're going to see an orange wall. So I'm a huge Tennessee fan, but anyhow, we do accept Florida fans and Alabama fans, and we just heckle each other. I have a really good Ohio State fan that walks in here with a walker, and we heckle him all the time. So, but anyway, it's fun.
Yeah,
it's fun.
Absolutely. Yeah. You mentioned the businesses, Kenny, that are coming around in Mount Juliet that you like to see come to fruition and thrive. I'm sure all that's music to Jeff's ears as well. I know you have a list that you brought. You want to touch on that a little bit and just tell all the people what they can be excited about? They're always looking for the next best thing in Mount Juliet. We got a ton to get on.
Oh, we do. Absolutely. Yeah. You think about, we call it our Build a Block program. Is, sometimes there's redevelopment, sometimes there's new development. And the redevelopment sometimes, unfortunately, happens as a result of windstorms and tornadoes and things of that nature. So as you look across the street, we see the West Wilson Middle School, which is going to serve a lot of students for a long, long time in the future. And I'd be remiss if I didn't say thank you to all the wonderful teachers. I know we were doing the event last night to honor our teachers that'll be going back to school soon. We get it. Summer's coming to a close, and these teachers have already been working. They've been working weeks ago, getting their classrooms set up and getting ready to go back to school to serve the students. Thank you for them, because my wife taught for 40 years. My father-in-law was a school superintendent. Mom was a teacher. So I understand the sacrifice of going to that. We wouldn't be where we're at if it wasn't for educators and parents. So thank God for them. But what Jeff's done here, just like the middle school coming back up and being built, just like First Baptist Church and Mount Juliet Christian Academy, are perfect examples of how our city is actually better today than what it was after the tornado and before the tornado. It's better. We got stronger as a result of that. And we'll never forget the lives that were lost. But all the new business you see coming in, the bridge that was upgraded, the BJ's coming in, the Rooms to Go coming in, the Costco coming in, those are all, to me, tributes to a city because of people like Jeff and people that laid the foundation before and currently of why they're coming here, is because they know it's a wonderful city that's very supportive of its business community and it's a place where they want to do business. And that's how our city operates. We could not operate without people like Jeff and these retail businesses that pay sales taxes into our city. The people that come here and visit and feel safe. That's right. Even the people that visit here, they go back home, and we don't have to necessarily serve them, but their money goes into our system, and 50% of that goes into the school system. So it's a huge blessing. So just naming off some of the businesses, not even some recent businesses that opened. There's a new business called Scent Hound, and it's a dog grooming business. It'll be going into Graves Crossing. That's pretty cool because we love our pets, right? We love our fluffies, or what do they call it? It's all these different names for them. But we love our cats. We love
Shout out to Majors, my little dog. He's
That's
also
right.
named after Johnny Majors, of course.
Yeah.
You're a UT fan?
Yeah.
There you go. Yeah, I just picked up on that, Major. So, but you think of something like that, how could there be another dog grooming place? It's because we love our animals. We love our pets, and we love loving them. And they're good for us. And so we got another business come there, and I think of that precious lady and how she's invested all this money in for this business. And she's going to have to do just like what Jeff did and go out and have these people say, believe in my business, start patronizing me. That's huge. It's called Scent Hound Grooming. It's going to be in Graves Crossing, which is over here in the Providence. Sunshine's Little Playhouse will be down here on Mount Jute Road. Discount Tire is taking over an 80,000 square foot warehouse. It was actually built by Himmel Door Company. Himmel Door Company moved their corporate headquarters to Mount Juliet. They make door frames, and they built an extra 80,000 square feet. Well, Discount Tire is taking that on. So on any given day,
That's
there'll
off
be
Golden Bear, right?
Yep, Golden Bear. So, that's neat because it's a place where you got to have tires. We got a Discount Tire store here, and there's other Discount Tire stores. So any given day, there'll be 80,000 tires in that store. So that's a big deal because we got to get those tires from somewhere, right? So we love having them here. We got Brooks on Main, which is down on 70, Ferguson Light and Gallery, Bath and Light and Gallery, which will be going into Providence. If you've had a house that's over 10 years old, you're probably looking to do some upgrades to your fixtures and things of that nature. This is the perfect place to go. Jeff will tell you, just like anybody else that's been here for a long time, it used to be that you had to go somewhere else to get most everything you needed in Mount Juliet. You don't have to do that
Including
anymore.
underwear.
Exactly.
That's your story.
That's so true. It wasn't too many years ago you couldn't buy a pair of socks or underwear in Mount Juliet, and then Dollar General store was actually the first retailer that offered that kind of item in Mount Juliet. You could not get it. You might get some overalls at Tractor Supply, and that'd be closer to get the clothing. Jackson Hill Station, which is the nice new station going in, I think it's called Golden Bear Market, is going in front of the Jackson Hill Southern. Very nice. That gentleman did a great job with that. The Camel Car Wash, what we jokingly say is the tallest building in Mount Juliet, Tennessee. The reason it's tall is all the car washing equipment, to save space on land, they went vertical. So the car wash equipment is in the top of the building and it comes down, which is pretty cool. Whataburger, everybody's been waiting on that. Blush Boot Camp, which is over in Providence. Chase Bank, which we're happy to have them. But when I mention this, everybody always says, when Old Charlie's closed, we had Chewy's restaurant wanting to go in there. Chewy's wants to be in Mount Juliet, Tennessee. We've been trying to get them for years. They were ready to take that building. But the folks that bought the building ended up leasing it to the bank, which is fine. From their perspective, I get why they made that decision. For us, selfishly, we wanted Chewy's.
Right.
We're going to get
No
Chewy's.
pressure, Kenny.
Oh, we
That's
all
right.
want Chili's.
Pressure,
That's
Kenny.
right.
Time for Chewy's.
We're going to get
Come on,
Chewy's.
Kenny.
But to have places like when my son was in high school and went off to college, and Jeff will remember this, the American Eagle clothing line, it's not for somebody my age would wear, but for teenagers and younger folks, that's a popular item. We've been trying to get them for years. Journey Shoes, been trying to get them for years. One of their higher ups lives in Mount Juliet, and that's a really cool place to get shoes. They're in Providence now.
They took over our old spot, Kenny.
That's right. See, it worked out perfect. One blessing for Jeff originally led to another blessing for somebody else. So they're in Jeff's old spot.
Give Jeff credit for that one.
Yeah.
Yep. Lou and Zing which is it's basically a bonfire. You remember where bonfire was? It went into that location, but it's basically hibachi style restaurant that does ramen noodles as well. So if you hadn't been there, you got to check them out there in the old bonfire
Sounds like a
location.
good spot for me and Kenny to go.
That's right.
Yes.
That's exactly right. Maniac's Chicken, which is going into Judd Sellers development down here where the Christmas store is. Peach Cobbler Factory, Leon's Famous Deli, Truly Scrumptious, Natural Comfort Shoes, and the list goes on. And I know there's a lot of businesses that I'm leaving out, but Golden Bear Parkway is the next big thing, and Providence Parkway is the next big thing, with the BJ's and Rooms to Go being the first two initial tenants over here, and of course Costco going in. When Costco comes in, you'll see a whole plethora of other businesses that'll follow suit because they want to be around a Costco. It'll drive a lot of business. And what's going to be good for Mount Juliet is the road's already basically 5 lanes with it's a divided highway. It's right off of 40. And so it's perfectly suited for lots of retail. So to give people an opportunity to come here. And so we're dealing with a lot of retailers that want to be in Mount Juliet. And so we're excited about bringing even more than what I've mentioned today to our city.
Justin, I have a question.
Yes,
What's
sir.
your favorite thing about Chewy's? You know what mine is?
It's been a while since I've visited, honestly, but every time I went, it was amazing. So
Those fresh tortillas are really good.
they're
Kenny.
fantastic.
They're really good. Hey, if you like fresh tortillas, give us a like on this video,
Yeah.
okay?
Yeah,
Put us in the comments.
that's right. Hey, Justin, I'd be remiss because one of our most recent lives, and I want Jeff to go try this place out, is the Seafood Palace.
Yep.
Okay.
They put on the show for us that day we were there, and also Calabrero's Pizza.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
That's 2 places we've done recently. And if you hadn't had a chance to have some good pizza and some eats, go to Calabrea's. If you want to try some seafood, catfish, chicken finger, they got everything on the menu. You got to go try the Seafood Palace. The little lady that owns that, of course, you know, Calabria's been here for years. It's absolutely phenomenal. You've got to go there. Seafood Palace is the same lady that used to own the China Moon restaurant, which was down by Kroger on the north end of town. But she's invested a lot of money in that place. And I think it's, you know, it's a little off the beaten path right now, so people aren't familiar with it. Please give them a try. I think you'll be impressed.
Off Pleasant Grove Road.
Pleasant
and
Grove Road.
There by Lowe's, Walmart, heading to Academy.
Just down by
get some new shoes.
IHOP.
Right. Absolutely.
Yep.
And Kenny, just real quick, and again, every Facebook share equals $10 donation to Wilson Rides from Jeff Gannon State Farm, and every new household that calls to get a quote at the number on your screen is $20 towards Wilson Rides, and that's through the end of August. So at the very least, even if you don't know what Wilson Rides is, just share it. It's given to a nonprofit, and we know how generous Mount Juliet is. Kenny, before we sign off, I want you to speak to this, and then I'll give Jeff the last word. But you mentioned BJ's Wholesale and Costco. That's going to generate a lot of sales tax for the city. Not only are we grateful of that, but every dollar we receive, an equal dollar goes to the school system. So as we talk about, we love Wilson County teachers. If there's a way for the city to actually speak to that, as opposed to, you know, just showing support, which is very important financially, we love the school system, because that is going to be huge for the school system. Am I right?
Oh, it's absolutely huge, because new businesses don't have any impact on schools. They don't add any additional students to it. It's sort of like 55 and older developments. You know, they typically don't have children, so they don't have an impact on schools. It's just all revenue to the schools to help them do an even better job. And to show you that it's working, Wilson County is the second wealthiest county in the state now. You think about that, from where it came from where it used to be. And that's because a lot of people well before me in our elected body and current elected body and current people like Jeff making that happen. But what's good about retailers is like you said, for every dollar we get, they get. That's why it's also the #1 school system in the state. You think about that. Second wealthiest, #1. That came from a lot of hard work and people wanting to be in this county. You know, from one end of it to the other, we're believers. We say this all the time about, we're partial to Mount Juliet because that's where we work and that's where we live. But we love all of Wilson County, right? We want every bit of Wilson County to do well. And actually, I want every bit of Middle Tennessee to do well, because sometimes we patronize them and sometimes they patronize us. So that's where the growth comes in handy, is you're getting a lot of benefit from people that come over and shop. And that's where Costco and BJ's are different than most retailers, because maybe everybody's got a grocery store that we share here, but not everybody's got a Costco and not everybody's got a BJ's. So it brings people to your community. They patronize businesses. Sometimes they stumble upon somebody like Jeff and say, you know what, hey, I need a new insurance agent. You can actually patronize and have an agent that's not necessarily in your community. You want somebody good that's going to serve you. Jeff's that guy. That's what I love about new business. It keeps the taxes low. We had a $94 million budget this year, thanks to our citizens, thanks to our elected body. We got an EMS service now. We got a fire service. Got one of the best police departments in the country. One of the best park systems in the country. Getting better every day. That doesn't happen without the businesses. That's what sort of drives, you know, the resources for the city of Mount Juliet. So the people that come over and patronize and our businesses, it's going to benefit us for a long time.
It's a high standard in Mount Juliet. That's why we're here with Jeff Gannon.
That's right.
Jeff, I'm going to give you the last word, man. Just your latest call to everyone. Tell them about your fantastic building. And, man, it's quite the tour in here as well.
So 3,000 square feet remains. If you have a business here in town or know somebody that's looking for space, we'd love to have you. This building was actually built by a local developers, Agilitas group that I actually played baseball in high school with Heath Thorne, who's one of the owners of the business. So it's a small world. But anyway, listen, we appreciate you guys coming by today. Absolutely appreciate the opportunity through the years to work with you, Kenny, and helping us find space, and just really appreciate Mount Juliet for trusting our business, and would love to continue to grow. I do appreciate my team. Our team I put up against anyone out here. So if you guys want to call the office, we'd love to give you a quote. Love to earn your business. And through the month of August, if you mention this video, everybody who calls, $20 will go, $20 per household will go to Wilson Rides. So again, we appreciate partnering up with them, and just thank y'all for coming by. Anybody come by and see all this great Tennessee orange in my office, and especially our photo of Tennessee Alabama game this year. We were successful.
Like it.
hopefully we.
The
make
mayor was
that
there
2
too. The
years
mayor
in
was
a
at
row.
that game.
So,
Yeah,
It was.
anyway,
you got to
You
enjoy
have a
that.
team of 11?
we have a team of 10 plus an intern. By the way, shout out to Easton Krinsky, intern for Jeff Gannon State Farm,
Yeah.
Mount Juliet High School graduate, baseball
Shortstop.
team. He will be my son's roommate in college. So hopefully they'll have a good time in Knoxville.
That's right.
I think they are.
Like it.
Good
Love
time
it.
to have a good time, as you mentioned that.
Give a little high five there,
Yeah.
Jeff.
Right.
Yes.
Good job, brother.
All right, for Justin Beasley, y'all sign out for us. Say goodbye.
Thank you, everybody. Have a blessed day.